What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Morning Coffee Podcast. This is episode 13, I think. First in-person guest in my private studio. Welcome. This is my dad. Dad, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So I usually run for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and just kind of talk about my morning or whatever's on my mind. You've seen the podcast, so you know how it goes. Just kind of ramble.
Yeah, I saw episode 11. But you didn't tell me I'm the first in person.
Well, that is a lie. Yes, we do have Harley. Harley is not here today. She's over at her parents'. But yeah, you're the first on the Morning Coffee Podcast.
Well, that's good because Harley was my inspiration. I saw episode 11 where you interviewed Harley, and Harley was flawless. I mean, never missed a beat. And I thought, okay, if Harley can do it, I could do it. So, yeah, I hope to do as well as Harley.
Coffee break. So, truthfully, I didn't think this would happen. A little bit of me was hoping that you wouldn't show up and you would be late to work because this is the earliest I've been up in a long time.
Yeah, well, I am going to be late to work.
For the viewers, I'm a little disappointed in myself. It is 7 a.m. No, it's not. It's 8. Oh, you're going to be late. It's 8. I've never been up. I woke up at 6:45 today. Incredibly early. Yes, these mugs. He asked me before the podcast started about these mugs.
Yeah, I wanted that one.
He met Natalie
awesome.
earlier. Natalie
awesome.
is Michael's fiance. She works in home staging, so she'll go and she'll stage homes for them to sell or take pictures of them, or I don't really know. But a lot of times they have extra stuff.
Oh, man, if that mug was in a house, I would buy the house just to get the mug.
So she had 4 of these, a bunch of those, brought them over. So we have a couple of topics today. Well, I just had one. I was just talking about your morning. So how was your morning? What did it look like?
My morning was good. I was not quite organized to get out of the house real early on the bike, but let's see what happened different.
What time did you get up?
I woke up 1 minute before my alarm went off at 5:50, so had most everything kind of ready, but you never really know what the weather's going to be like, and so I had to fiddle around with gear always, and get out and get on the road. It was nice. I think it was somewhere like 44 degrees when I started, so I like those crisp, cool mornings. The sun was coming up. I like to try to beat the traffic a little bit. I didn't quite beat it.
Is there traffic on a bike?
There's traffic on the road, and sometimes I ride on the road.
Oh.
So, there's especially one hill that I come down on, New Braddock Road, and in the morning, the sun can be shining in your eyes, and right at this time of year, the sun lines up with the road, which lines up perfectly in your eyes when you're coming down the hill, and so you have to beat the sunrise there, or the problem is, as I found out the hard way, the cars don't see you. So, so you go down that part of the road, and I'm in the road because I'll get up to 25, 30 miles an hour, and it's just too fast for the path. So, so there's a little mix-in with cars that I don't like to do.
First of all, I think that is a perfect start to the morning. Is if you beat your first alarm by like not too much where you can't fall back asleep,
Yeah.
and not like too beating it by 1 minute is incredible. That's the perfect start to a day. So you're off to a good start. Is that the hill that you got hit on?
I did. I got hit on that hill by a car.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah. So I guess the rest of the story is I couldn't see down the hill. I was kind of blinded by the sun, and I thought, oh no, if I can't see, neither can the cars. And then just at that instant where the thought went through my mind, I hear this smack, and I feel something on my back, and it was kind of surreal. It was like slow motion. There was this car right next to me, just like literally on my body, and then in slow motion, it just kept driving away, and I thought, what just happened? I got hit by a car, and I'm still just fine. So what happened is the mirror of the car, I have in this cycling jersey is like a pocket, and my phone was in my back pocket, and the mirror of the car hit my cell phone and made the loud smack, and I could feel it, but it was just enough in line that I kept just going straight down the hill.
Did the car stop?
No, I don't think the car ever even knew I was there.
Wow.
Or the person in the car. Yeah. It was pretty amazing to be like hit and then.
Did you fall?
No. I don't even think
And,
I swerved at all.
Was that the only time you were hit that day?
Yeah. So I'm like, I had a boss that he's like, look, you ride your bike to work like this, you're just going to get snuffed out one day. And, well, so I didn't want the lovely Mrs. Zellner to worry too. So I said, all right, I'm just going to keep this to myself. And I'm not even going to tell anyone. And so I went to work, worked. I happened to be doing some testing outside that day, really hot summer day. And, I had a bike home. Well, I didn't. So my supervisor, he's like, hey, it's a hot day. You want me to give you a ride home? It's no problem. I'm like, no, I really like biking. That's why I do it. So anyway, I get on my bike to go home, and I was very tired, right? And sometimes when you get that tired and you don't think quite as straight. And so I was coming along again, Braddock Road. This time I was on the path, but I went to cross, and I'm on the left side of the road. I went to cross Colchester, and there was a car waiting to turn right. Car's coming towards me, and this lady slowed down. She was going to turn right, and she waved me across. She could see I needed to, was trying to cross, and I'm like, oh, she waved me across. And as I started to go across, this was my mistake. I didn't make eye contact with the driver making a right turn. So I proceeded to cross slowly. The driver in the pickup truck, he's like, saw his moment to make the right onto Braddock Road, and bam, I met the grill of his truck right on my side. So, yeah, that one kind of knocked me over.
That one you fell.
It threw me into the middle of the road, messed up my bike pretty good, and but it wasn't too bad. But there is like kind of another part of the story. My son Nathan, he's coming along, and by this time police are there. I'm sitting there on the side of the road, bike's off like in a ditch or whatever, and he comes along. He was going to George Mason at the time, and he sees me. He's like, what's Dad doing there? Why is he? And he stops, and I tell him what happened. I'm like, yeah, can you drive me home? So because it wasn't bad enough, I didn't need to go to the hospital. So he takes me home, and I'm like, look, don't tell Mom. I don't want her to like worry about me.
Did you tell her about the first one?
No, I didn't tell her about the first one. And so, yeah, we get home, and I'm like, yeah, just be quiet. I'll put the bike and everything in the garage, go in. Well, she was coming out at that time, and she's like, what's going on here? Why is Nathan home? What are you doing with Nathan? And, yeah, I had to confess the whole thing. So, yeah, I've been so far only hit by 2 cars, both in the same day. I like to think that I bike a little bit safer and more cautiously now.
Yeah, is there a difference in biking before and after?
Work, you mean? Or before and after?
No, before and after an accident like that, or 2 accidents like that in a row. Do you change your biking habits or things you do when you cross, make you second guess things that you do?
No, not really. Because I would say I was...
It would make me second guess a
I was
lot.
pretty... I would say I'm very calculated and careful. Yeah, I tell people I ride with, don't follow me when I go across intersections or whatever. But
Wow.
I was pretty nervous after the second hit for a while, but it's kind of out of my system.
My second guessing would be like, hey, maybe a car is a better way to get to work.
Yeah, I've always liked biking, so I don't know. Maybe it's hard to get out of my blood.
Well, that was a good story. I think the viewers, let me know if you like that. Also, like and subscribe to this podcast and leave some comments if you want to be guests or have any topic. Because obviously I just kind of free ball and kind of riff on whatever I'm thinking about that day. Do you have anything that you wanted to talk about?
No, I'm kind of like, this is your podcast.
So I'm sure you, well, I don't know how much of the podcast you've seen. I know that Mom has seen everything.
No, I only watched episode 11 and Harley.
So for the past couple episodes, I feel like I've been talking about trying to, I don't know. Well, something I've been thinking about lately for me is, and usually I just talk to myself and try and give myself advice or thoughts on things, and I don't know, it doesn't really work all the time. So I've been thinking.
Yeah, well, like when I give advice, it doesn't always work all the time either.
No.
No, it doesn't. Like I just told Michael and Natalie, like,
That's
what
different.
day to get married, and I tell everyone this, but nobody listens to me. They always have their date, and they think their date is great. But I tell them, the date to get married is June 5th. Worldwide best weather day. You're going to be celebrating all those anniversaries, but so you got to be careful because like I give that advice, nobody listens. I give good advice, but are you going to listen?
I'm glad Michael didn't listen to my advice. I told him he was like trying to do it all too quick. But then I realized like Nathan got married and like engaged and married within like 3 months.
Yeah.
I thought August was really quick for planning and stuff.
Oh no, June 5th would be fine. You could still switch it up.
You think
now.
you could plan in 3 months?
It'd be great.
It's not even 3 months.
It'd be a great story. Like they'd be telling the story the rest of their life. They'd be on your podcast with this story.
That's true. They would. So yeah, all that to say, I've been thinking about trying to get more discipline or like Natalie came in, she was asking my dad a lot of questions in the morning, and I was like, I'm not even awake enough to say hi to my dad. So how do you, I mean, you obviously bike in the mornings and get up early. So what's something you can do to like start being a morning person?
You start being a morning person the day before. Like,
what does that mean?
That means you have to go to bed early. So the discipline starts at going to bed early. And when you get enough sleep, getting up in the morning isn't that big of a deal, right? So, like, I already had enough sleep, so I could wake up at, before 5. Now, I will say this, I'm not naturally a morning person. So it does take discipline, right? So I think one of the things is figuring out how much sleep you need and then making sure you back up from, when you want to get up, and then make sure you're in bed by that time. So I would say it's the night before.
That's a tall order to get. I had just one night. Last night the Capitals were playing, and they were West Coast time, so they were started at 10, went till like 12:30, and then it's like if you get one of those, even if you're good for like 3 days, waking up early, going to bed early, you get one late night like that, or I do, it's out the window, and then it's back to waking up right before your 9 a.m. meetings. So.
Yeah, well, you just have to do it over time. It's like then eventually your body just gets used to it, and then you wake up before your alarm.
Like my life dream is to be a morning gym person, to go to the gym before work, get back, and then go to work. But this morning, and I've been thinking about that seriously for a week, but this morning I woke up and I was like, I couldn't imagine. I would have just been getting back from the gym like now. It's like I couldn't ever imagine that.
Yeah, I don't know about that though. I think there are people like natural times that you like and your body likes. Like, so I think there are naturally morning people and naturally night people, but you can push it one way or the other.
Yeah,
that's my theory.
And the whole going to the gym is ridiculous if you're not a morning person. Because it's like everyone gets off at like 5:30, and it's like, well, you want to go to the gym then? But then it's like, well, life happens in the evening. That's just when people do things. You have events. You go work at, help out at church, or someone wants to go get dinner after work. And it's like, I never have time to go to the gym if I'm not. And so I'm just seeing, you have to force something else into the morning, or else you're not going to be able to get anything done.
Well, that is true. People do say, like, go in the morning, like, do your workout, do your run, because that's the only time of the day you're going to be able to control. And that is true. But I will say, like, I do have a hard time getting up. For some reason, biking is not all that bad in the morning, but running, working, that's pretty hard. I have to, really push to do that. The only times I pretty much do that is maybe if I'm training for a marathon or something like that, I got to get out and I got to beat the sun and, go in the cool of the morning. So it's hard. But then it gets hard, like you said, because then your times get crowded out in the evening. So I do try to, plan my workouts. I can see how my week is going to go. And I try to plan them out maybe almost a week in advance, between weather and things I have planned in the evening. So it takes planning, it takes work, it takes discipline, and then the time that you need to do it the most is the time you want to do it the least, and that's the time you've got to just do it and burn through.
Yeah.
You got to burn through.
Yep. So I've been thinking about that for a while. I think I'll start trying to do that. Podcast, keep me honest. Let me know. The thing that it slipped a little bit this week, my diet. I'm switching my diet around. It's so hard to just cook for yourself.
Diet is a hard one for me.
So my diet is I'm not allowed to go out to eat on my own. That's just it's just to start getting me to discipline myself to just make some meals instead of just always going to Chipotle or Chick-fil-A or anything. I guess you have it a lot easier than me.
Why?
You don't have to make the meals.
Oh.
And plus it's made for more than just one person. It's made for a family.
Well,
and so it gets cheaper.
It's not, for me, it's not about the money or making. It's about the discipline of eating. So I do have a group of friends that I've done a bunch of triathlons with, and I joke with them that I do triathlons so I can eat donuts whenever I want. But like, it's a joke, but it isn't.
I see.
Like, I love carbs, so I'm actually trying to change my diet and go more protein and more fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, when we were talking about carbs with Nathan on Easter, I hadn't really thought about carbs as a big problem, but now I'm realizing that when I eat carbs, I get like pretty tired or like just feel.
Well, you got to work out more.
Yeah.
So you can eat more carbs. So
Well,
you're not.
that's true.
So you have more energy.
So you don't have a problem eating out. Yours is more like snacking.
Yeah,
Mine's more eating out than snacking.
I don't eat out that often. Like maybe once a week.
Yeah.
Probably not even that. But it's snacking. Yeah, I love snacks. I love carbs. I'm like Aaron. I love bread.
Yeah.
And sugar. And coffee too.
Let's see. Well, it is. I know you have to go, so I think last question I'll ask is. Well, thanks for being on the podcast. But
it's fun.
Last question is. I gotta come up with that. Oh no! What's something? What's one thing that you're looking forward to?
Oh man, I'm always looking forward to a lot of things. I mean, one right now, I'm kind of doing a little bit more biking and running and stuff because I'm going on a 550 mile gravel ride at the end of May.
Wow.
So I'm part dreading it, but part looking forward to it. Like I think I'm starting to get to the point where I can.
That's a lot.
Picture finishing it. So
how many states is that?
It's one. It's just
wow.
It goes
big state.
Pretty much. It's called the Trans Virginia 550. So it starts at the Lincoln Memorial, comes across into Virginia, and goes all the way down to Damascus, Virginia, kind of parallel to 81 up in the mountains. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But you know. I think I look forward to something just about every day, so it's not always big things.
Yeah. Well, all right. Thanks again for being on the podcast.
Sure.
I think we'll wrap up this episode. It's getting a little long. That was fun. I think I'm gonna try and have some more guests on. Maybe I'll get Mom on. I think that would be fun. Fun to talk to her.
It'd be good.
Yeah, like I said, thanks for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe to this, and yeah, leave some comments. Let me know what you thought of it, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.